All right, here we are with our next video. And hey, Mike, we have a special guest with us here today.
Yeah, it's not just us talking this time. So we've got someone to bring some valuable insight into an important topic for homeowners, and just a good topic.
Yeah, so solar is a topic that, hey, the sun's back out again, and a big topic. So we have Mathew Rock. He's a great guy, and someone that I know that can bring some real good, valuable information here. So Mathew, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you taking time out and jumping on this with us.
Glenn, Mike, thank you so much. Honored to be here and be able to serve your clientele and some really valuable information, just like you said.
Absolutely. So we have a couple questions for you that we want to kind of go through that will, I think, be important. I think first thing here is that, you know, our past clients, Mathew, are clients that they own their homes and they may have solar right now. They may have maybe thinking about getting solar, and that's where we thought of you and said, hey, you've got some good information for those clients that are thinking about it. And we want to make sure that they're getting that right information that I know that you can provide. So, and then for those clients of ours that have solar, I'm sure you probably have something good that we can maybe end this video on, kind of touching base on what that might look like. So, so first thing here for you. So how would you characterize or describe just maybe that typical solar experience that that clients are seeing today?
The typical or average experience, I believe, in my 5.5 years in solar is that which you read about and you hear about in Facebook groups, from your neighbors, from your friends, family, all over, especially California, because so many companies, so many programs, and so many sales reps that kind of fit into the bad mold of solar. It's the same in realty and lending and this and network marketing. There's always your bad, right? And then your neutral. We always want the good. It's just, it's not everywhere you're looking, unfortunately. So the bad experiences, or at least a typical one, has a little bit of a few things, or maybe all of it. We're talking your leases, your liens, your loans that don't make it favorable for you long term, where you might actually have to move. This is California, by the way. It is a very polarizing environment. We're talking politics. We're talking the need to move. Things happen quickly. So if you're buying a house and needing to move 2 years later, 7 years later, and now you have this 30, 50, 70, now we're talking them three numbers, $80,000, $100,000 loan for solar. That's going to be tough. It's hard to sell your realtor, your loan officer, and yourself as a homeowner on being able to feel comfortable with that. The average experience too is when you need to reach your solar guy or the company, a lot of times they just don't answer. They've made their commission, they move on. This is the average experience. And I could talk for a long time, but I know we don't have too much time together. The average experience is not a fantastic one.
Yeah, absolutely. So someone that's looking to get solar, like what's the process look like?
The process is very simple. Let's say, Glenn, you call me up, you know, a great guy, Mathew Rock, for solar, but Mike is your neighbor and he's been looking for solar for some time, or he's curious, or there's a roadblock keeping him from having gone solar already, and he hears great things about me. So you refer me, let's say a three-way intro text, and I take it from there. Hey, Mike, would love to jump on the phone, and then we do that. We connect, and you're going to realize you get Mathew Rock as a solar professional. So I'm going to do a really good job of asking some good questions. I want to know about what solar has been for you and what that looks like. I'm basically consulting in a very easygoing way. I'm also going to get to know about you, Mike, and your family in ways that make sense, to where you get Mathew Rock as a friend, a new associate, and of course, your new solar guy. Then from there, we set up a time where I'm actually going to drive to you if you're local, or if you're in Northern California or something like that. Then we're going to do a Zoom. But I would love to do the face-to-face, the handshake, the hug. And because once I'm a guest in your home, this is furthering your confidence in the solar experience. I thrive in a home because I have over 19 years of experience serving people in their houses, at their dining room table, as a private math tutor, in solar and other services. So basically, the consultation in-house is super simple. One of the best parts our clients really appreciate is that they don't take out their debit card, their credit card, their checkbook, or any amount of money at any time that they spend with me, which is amazing and super full of comfort and peace. It's a no-cost enrollment, very simple. And I do all the heavy lifting and hard work and asking the right questions and getting the design ready and making sure this is a customized, non-cookie cutter fit for each client, because Mike, your system might look completely different than Glenn's, than our neighbors and yours as well. And then from there, having had a no cost enrollment, we're going to set up a site survey. We take care of that. We take care of the permitting and all this stuff backstage. And then once it's ready for install day, it's either a 1, 2, or 3 day install. Typically, we're seeing 1 or 2 if you have a really big house, and then just getting the system activated from there. 99% of the homeowner's job is literally just spending some time with me, getting to know each other, answering some good questions, asking good questions as well, and just letting me take care of everything for them.
There's really that consultative approach, right? It's not a one size fits all for everyone. And I think that's important because everyone's needs and how they use their property is going to be different, and how solar fits into that.
Absolutely.
And that's that 5-star service that you provide that, we do the same thing. It's like on your mortgage, it's like you could get you can have different down payment options, but not all of our clients always get those options. So it's up to us to make sure that they know what they can get, and then they decide what's best for them. Right. So,
right.
So, all right. So this is a tricky one because this is going to be, I don't want to get too far in depth on this one, but I know that there's this talk and I don't know about it. I don't know anything about it. So I'm curious to hear what you have to say, but this NEM 3 things that all of a sudden I start hearing about in 2024. What is that? What does that mean?
Yep. So from 2017 to March of 2023, it was called NEM 2.0 or Net Metering 2.0. Think of it just as a season of how solar worked. So then April came around and there was a new law put in place, and now we're in NEM 3. We're just in a new season of solar and how it works. Basically, the state voted unanimously that whatever credits, not the big solar federal tax credit, whatever credits the homeowner or the renter were generating with the utility, they decided to destroy the value of those credits for said homeowner 75%. So now you're only getting 25 cents on the dollar when you produce solar power and don't use it, sell it back. But you still have to pay dollar for dollar value when you use their power at night. Doesn't work anymore. So for somebody like Mike, who let's say goes solar today, basically as of April last year, now mandatory, you have to have solar batteries included to store the power, which is a wonderful thing. The thing is, if you're going to go buy panels and all that, now buying panels just got so much more expensive for you by $20,000 to $45,000, $50,000 in excess cost, not including your solar panels. Not a very sexy thing, especially for those that don't believe there's a special, wonderful option available for them outside of buying and leasing solar panels.
Yeah. So, and that's a great point that you bring up. Those are 2 options that you have, but those aren't the only 2 options, right?
That's right. But 99 of 100 people don't know that there actually is a better option. And we're not talking about the hero options of the latter days. Right. That obviously was a terrible program. Yeah. We're talking about a program where, so over the 5.5 years that I've been in business, and this program's been around actually since 2007, a very workable one. The thing is, you have 99% of companies that are going to sell it to you and lease it to you, but there is an option where you can go solar without buying panels and without leasing panels. And you can do so for $0 out of pocket with no lease, no lien, no loan involved. There are wonderful benefits of producing your own power on site, storing it on site, having emergency backup capability. And I'm only through 20% of the benefits. We don't have too much time, but this is a perfect program for somebody who wants to do solar the right way with the least amount of risk, have the most comfort, and actually not be responsible for the system. The only catch is, the big one up front, is a solar company is going to capture that big solar federal tax credit, and they turn that into a tax revenue. And then of course you would be paying said solar company to produce the power, 1 low flat rate comparable to 3 expensive rates with your local utility, whether you're with Edison or SDG&E in San Diego. It's a very workable program that provides a night and day experience from how you're doing power today to how you could without the headaches typically you experience we talked about earlier in the typical solar experience.
So I still have panels on my roof,
mm-hmm.
but I don't own them and I don't lease them. Whose are they?
That's right. So they're the solar companies. They spend all the money to put it up. How they make money is threefold, really 2 reasons, but a compounding third. One is you pay 1 low flat rate for on-site power, which is way better than paying 3 expensive, ever-increasing rates with the utility for out-of-state power because we don't produce enough local. And remind me your question, blanked out there.
No, that's okay.
Whose are they? Yep.
Yeah, whose are they?
That's right. And then number 2, solar company is going to capture that solar federal tax credit, and that makes sure that their return on investment makes more sense. They get that because they're taking all the risk. And then number 3, referrals. Now we have more clients, and now we have more, of course, tax credits.
Gotcha. Okay.
So in that instance, you're paying for what you use.
That's right. So that's why your system and every single one of your clients and referral systems could look different as far as how much it produces, but that depends on the needs and desires and wants, of course, of said homeowner and what they want their power production to look like. And that's what I take care of for them.
Gotcha.
This is all part of that consultation up front.
That's right.
Yep. So, all right. So we talked about buying solar, leasing it, the one that you just talked about, and then, but let's talk, like, we have clients that already have solar. Like, what are some things that, I mean, are there better systems out there for them? Is like, what are some things that they should be looking at, maybe as they have solar, maybe they've lived in their home for some time, and there's maintenance, of course, there's some other things that probably that some of our home buyers are first-time home buyers, and they might not know what to do with that. So maybe if you have a couple tips on that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, like I'll just butt in there really quick, because like I have solar on my property. When I purchased it, right, it was a lease that was transferred over. So we have a lease on the property. We pay to the solar company. That's always a topic of conversation, like you touched upon the business in the beginning, right? There's no one to reach out to, right? So it's just you're going out to that subsidiary, that billing company, right? And it does get frustrating if you don't have that point of contact. And it goes up and down, but then we also pay SoCal Edison. So I think the question always is like, is there a better option? Am I stuck with the lease? Is there an alternative, right? There's the true up bill. I think there's a couple of things that people just go along with it because it was on the house when they bought it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were a lot of points there. I think a few things we could touch on, especially for sake of time. And to make it simple for the vast majority of people that do have solar, I think it's going to come down to just a few things that bring a lot of value out in this video time together. One is if there's solar on the house, there's solar on the house. So you kind of got what you bought into, right? So that's why if you're going to get solar on the house, you kind of want to do it the best way that you can to make it transferable and have the best experience and everything inclusive. So for those that already have it, you kind of just have it the way it is, right? So if it's purchase cash or loan or a lease or whatever program it is, you're dealing with that. But number 2 is if you have a high true up and you're paying a lot extra to the utility company, a couple of things. One is you're probably on what's called time of use between 4 and 9 p.m. Whatever power that you use with the local utility here in Southern California, they're going to charge you higher than a tier 3 rate. So if you could do your laundry and your drying, and if you can do other things that use electricity and like charging an electric vehicle and filtering your pool, outside of the 4 to 9 range, you will help lessen the true up bill because then they'll charge you a lower rate. So that's my biggest tip for somebody that does have solar. So at least just lower the impact that it's having on their wallets. Number 2 is take a look at your most recent Edison statement, pull up the most recent settlement bill, just like you said, Mike, the true up bill, same thing. And if you're paying an excess amount, and we're talking $1,000 plus to the utility in a year, then it might be workable to get what's called an add-on. So if you have one system currently and you're using way more power than solar produces, I may be able to possibly qualify the house for an add-on of a minimum of 8 panels. And we'd also include 2 Tesla Powerwall batteries as well, which of course stores the power and it's going to provide emergency backup power. And it's going to take both systems and put them into this new NEM 3 cycle, which is a blessing, but it may or may not be a good fit for every single client. So A, you're using way too much power and you might need add-on. Number 2, at least try to stay outside of 4 to 9 from utilizing electricity for things that you can push out.
I love that. Thanks so much, Matthew.
Absolutely.
So someone that wanted to get further information on this, what's the best way to connect with you?
Right here, you're seeing on the screen as your go-to solar guy. I love just hearing from you directly. So whether it's you have a referral, you have somebody you want to introduce me to, always the best way is texting or calling me directly at 909-510-0061. Mathew Rock, your go-to solar guy.
I put that on there. I hope you don't mind, but yeah. So I wanted them to have that. So thanks again, Mathew. I really appreciate you joining us. Some great tips here. If there's anything that you have that maybe more questions around this, we would love to connect you with Mathew, and he's a great dude on top of that, and he'll definitely take great care of you. So thank you so much.
I'd be honored. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Mathew.